Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Grue Rume. The Grue Rume today, we got a very great one today. We got WWE wrestler John Morrison, aka Johnny Drip Drip, and director William Stryberg, and they're going to be on the show, and they're going to be talking about The Speed of Time, a short film that they both worked on before John Morrison signed back with the WWE, and really looking forward to talking to them both about this film. It looks like a really good film, and big John Morrison fan, and definitely looking forward to this. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of Grue Rume, and my interview with John and William for The Speed of Time is coming up next. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thank you so much, guys, for taking time out of your day and coming on the show.
Of course.
Got to give you props for that Macho Man shirt.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to say that he's everyone's favorite, but everyone's got a Macho Man impersonation, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, me doing a Macho Man impersonation.
Yeah. I'm gonna beat you to the punch. What do you got?
I go, ooh, yeah.
Sweating out here wearing this jacket. So excited.
Are you in Florida or are you in LA right now?
I'm in LA.
Oh, okay.
And I was in Texas, so it was like from Florida to Texas to LA, like three of the hottest places.
Yeah,
Oof.
definitely. Wow. Well, yeah, you definitely don't need to wear a coat jacket on if you're gonna be outside in the heat, right?
No, I was doing it for the aesthetic. I've been thinking of becoming like a denim guy, you know. Leather jackets are kind of played out. Everyone does that, but like denim and bombers, it's gonna be Johnny Drip Drip thing going forward.
Wanted to actually start out by asking William, tell us what the short is about and how you thought of the script for it.
Oh boy, it came to me in a dream. No, Speed of Time it's a crazy throwback action comedy about a guy whose wedding gets interrupted by his future self. He claims that the world in the future, has all gone to hell because of the Time Borgs who've gotten their hands on a pizza app that has broken the space-time continuum. Pretty run-of-the-mill stuff we're all very familiar with. No, it came to be because John and my writing partner Russ and myself were all working on some other stuff, and we were getting kind of antsy. We really wanted to dive in and make something, and we had an opportunity in Florida to show up.
Like, and I signed to go back, and I knew I was going to go back to full-time on the road, which we thought was full-time back then before the pandemic. And like William was saying, we were like, hey, like we've written a really awesome feature. We've talked about two other features that we're working on that we haven't scripted. By we, I mean William and Russ are writing. And I get to have coffee with them and make jokes, and I love it because we all have kind of the same irreverence, and in their cases, sophisticated senses of humor. And in my case, just irreverent. But
no.
It came to like that point where like, hey, like if we don't make something, like we might not be able to make this feature. Probably not now, maybe not ever. But if we don't make something now, we're really kind of like missing the boat on working together, because we got to get the process moving along and like test all these theories. And I think that was the impetus of it.
Yeah, that was. It's like, can we come up with an excuse to pair the crazy comedy that we've been working on together with some high flying action stunts and just have fun. And we had a very narrow window. Like John said, he had just signed again with WWE. I don't think it was even announced yet at the point that we were prepping the movie, but we didn't know. We were scheduling the movie down to the wire, hoping that they didn't call him and say, hey, you're premiering tonight on TV. So it really was. And it ended up being like a few weeks after we wrapped. It was very soon after, right?
Oh, wow.
I feel like you were, it was a real quick turnaround.
It was, crazy because you're on call when you sign. Like they can, hey, we need you in Tulsa, and then like you're like, what time? You're like, you got 3 hours to get to the airport. Like that's kind of like what having a contract there means. Like on the plus side though, like you get to wrestle in the best environments possible for sports entertainment, the best cameras, the best opponents, the best like forum, the biggest platform. So that's the trade-off. And in this Speed of Time, it's like the fun thing is the autonomy. Like with William writing, directing, Russ producing, writing, and me producing, doing a lot of the action design with some of my close friends and working like just to design. I like doing pro wrestling stuff with entries and exits that flow seamlessly into traditional stunt choreo. So everyone kind of had their own challenge, which is what made it so fun. It's not like someone said, I want this, this, and this. It's like we all came up with what we wanted together, and then we all took on specific challenges.
Yeah. And I think there was a lot too. I mean, this was my first time working with big stunts and big VFX at this level. So for me, I was coming at it with always like an openness and the questions of, hey, can we do this? Like we wrote a scene where this family's having breakfast and then you just crash through the ceiling, through the table. Can we do it? And we all go, yeah, I think we can figure that out. But then it becomes like a big puzzle of how to do it in a way that looked good. I didn't want it, that stunt specifically, I didn't want to be very VFX heavy. I wanted to see if we could do it practically. So it's like 99% practical in the movie. And then the VFX adds some like dust and stuff falling from the ceiling.
You got the BTS of that, just hanging on to like.
I do. Yeah, I mean, it was, we were like, that one in particular was more challenging than I thought. I thought, oh, this guy just, smashes through tables for a living. This will be easy. But then you get to the location and you see it through the lens and you realize how difficult it's going to be to hide him up there. And it was like, maybe a 9-foot ceiling. It wasn't a huge ceiling. Wow. So we ended up building like a crossbar over the table that's just out of frame. Like if you moved the camera an inch to either side, you would see the stands that were holding the bar. And then John just kind of like grabbed on and skinnied himself up, and he's right out of frame at the top there, just like yeah. And just holding on to it until you let him go and he crashes through the table, which was we rigged it with props on that would fly through the air when he hit, and yeah, it worked. But I felt like every day was some
practical, like really sold it. I mean, I feel like there's some effects that like the practicality of them make them epic, and that's for sure one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And John, I have to ask, like, when the script was done, what was your first thoughts reading the script?
So I worked with Russ and Will like throughout this process, and like the draft, like I remember thinking two things. One, like holy crap, this is perfect and awesome, but not ready. You know what I mean? And Russ and Will like knew that. It's like a first draft, and the idea is like you just kind of start hammering it out, and then you like shape the clay into more and more as good of a sculpture, as good of a thing as you can before you start shooting. And the concept and the idea is all there in the very first draft, and then revised, and it ended up with what you see. And even to the point where, and Will knows, like sometimes something improv on set is the way to go.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. And like, how was filming the scenes and working on set?
This is a dream project for me because the creative autonomy part, which is huge to me, means that like everyone is kind of thinking of ideas and it's more of a collaboration. B, I consider Russ and William really close friends, and we also worked with like Brady to stunt coordinate, who's a very close friend of mine, actually a cousin. Nice. Chris Clements, VFX, like a guy, like I've worked with him forever. He's a close friend too. So we're surrounded by, and Will brought like a Sean, like for example, who's
sure,
friend. And Alex, too, right?
My wife, yeah.
But yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So it felt like a family on set, and everyone was happy to be there and in a good mood.
Yeah.
And it felt like we were creating something awesome. So yeah, pretty rad.
Well, then like Nick shows up too for the cameo. Like he was in and out, I feel like within a couple of hours. He flew into Tampa. Yeah, 4 hours. He flew into Tampa. We got him to the set, shot his scenes in the bathroom. He left he was about to walk out the door, and we wanted to get another couple of shots. We pulled him back in, and he, fortunately didn't miss his flight. But I mean, it was just a whirlwind, just in and out. But another close friend. I think that's why we were able to pull this off, is because everyone had a great working relationship. I mean, John had a shorthand with all of the stunt guys and with our VFX guy in a way that I have with my DP and my art director. Everyone just had the comfortability. So there were no egos that were getting stepped on. It was purely creative coming together saying, what's the best way to do this? What's the funniest way to do this? And I mean, I think it shows. It's a film production, so there's always crazy stuff that happens that's unexpected.
Jupe Katana has like a stunt warehouse in Orlando that I've been training at too.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
I see him like once a month now. One of the stunt guys that we met because we needed somebody that had pads. In Florida. And we ended up becoming good friends out of this also.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. I forgot you didn't know him before that. That's great.
He was the only one because everyone else could fly in, but he had like a resi and all these pads. You can't really travel with that unless you have a truck. And he did, but you can't fly with it. It's a better way to put
it. I mean, like that's really cool to know. Like you actually did like all of your stunts or most of your.
I did some of his stunts. I did a few of his stunts, and then it was
when I couldn't like twists down or like the choreo Will would step in. Yeah,
that was me. That was all me.
But I'd say like 90% me and 10%.
What scene did you both like most from the short?
It's like asking Jeff Foxworthy his favorite redneck joke.
Yeah. I mean, I do think one of the scenes that I'm most proud of that makes me laugh is that breakfast scene when he falls through the table. Yeah, it's just really special. I thought all four of the actors that play the family, they're so funny. Their reactions are so good. Yeah, like those kids the kids in that scene are twins. Like their actual brother and sister, which was kind of a coincidence. Like the casting came through from different angles, and we didn't know at first, but they just seemed like they were the best for it. But yeah, that scene was one of my favorites, and also just because it was the thing that you make movies, you have ideas in your head, and then sometimes they actually make it on screen and you can pull it off. And that one for me was kind of special, just to see that we could actually do the thing that was in my head. John, what was your favorite scene?
That's up there for me, but I'll say different ones to provide some variety. I liked right after the wedding, like Johnny Killfire crashes the wedding. There's a short like scene in the hotel room with me and Sean Marquez. And it's like, how could I be you? Or how could you be me? Look at you. And it's like stem cells. And it's a very quick scene that just cuts to like, we both look out the window and the time borgs are blowing up the beach and everything's on fire. For some reason, just the tone of that and like, it accomplished so many things. I thought it was entertaining, and it just like the whole premise didn't hinge on that, but it was like super within the premise of like, this is a very fast-paced thing. We're going from going back in time to crash your wedding, saying time borgs are going to kill everybody, to then like 20 seconds later, there they are.
Nice.
I like that scene too, because you ended up like, I don't know if we wrote this in the script, but we ended up figuring out the bit of showing the top of the wedding with the cake, the wedding cake in the front, and then in the scene you just described, you're eating the cake. Like the wedding's over and you're just eating the wedding cake. You're eating the top of the cake while you're just like explaining the premise of the movie, and you're just so calm about it. And Sean is freaking out. You're right. That's a great scene. And I feel like we did that scene with like a tiny crew. The rest of the crew was off building the car, like all the green screen stuff for like the car scenes that we were doing. And it was just like you and me and sound and camera. And I remember it being just chill.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that's what you get when you get like a nice chill crew. Like there's pressure because it's not a lot of time to do this over and over again. But like it's an intimate situation, so I feel like it sets you up for like success when you're acting. Like there's less like to worry about. Like you just I know everybody here. If Will has notes, and he did several times during that scene, like he can just tell us the notes really easily, and we try it again. And sometimes it makes it better, and sometimes it makes Will think of a different thing to try.
I feel like to go down that route too, because it was just us, I felt more comfortable to just try stuff. In all the other scenes, we were just like shooting, had to rush. But for whatever reason, that scene, we didn't need to rush. So it was like a page-long scene, really short. No one was putting pressure on us to like wrap and get out of that location. So we did have time to like mess around and try different lines and try different reads.
Like 2 hours to shoot that or something, maybe, and we finished in like an hour. We just we knew we were gonna get it done faster.
It worked out really well. I mean, we shot a lot at that hotel. That was kind of a dream location to take over for a couple days.
Sweet. And John, like,
the Don Caesar not too long ago. You guys take a picture. Well,
Nice.
How cool was it to actually play someone who time travels and you're also the lead?
How cool, man! So cool that if it was ice, it would melt and it'd be very drippy. I'm in Johnny Drip world. Like the cool thing about it to me wasn't necessarily that it was a time traveling thing. Is like the way that it was just a very well thought out, fast paced script with this like fish out of water, absurd character, Johnny Killfire, interacting with people that are very grounded in reality, and the interaction with the actors and me and like the time porgs, I don't know, like came out with this funny tone that it was exceeded my expectations even, and that usually doesn't happen. So like the cool thing for me is like just the way that everything works. It's not like I say for sure I don't necessarily dream of playing a superhero or like I dream of being this guy or that person. It's for me always more about I dream of like creating something that people like or telling a story that's really interesting. And this accomplished that. I think that feels the best.
Nice. And William, like how was it? Like, I mean, you got two big WWE stars in your film. You got John and Dolph.
I mean, it was for me, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But
hold on, I think Will was a little bit nervous about Ziggler until he showed up that day.
I was super nervous just because he's, I hadn't met him before.
Never met him. Yeah.
Never met him. He was coming in for like a big scene. That big scene in the bathroom. There's a lot of VFX. There's a lot of moving pieces. We had a time crunch because he had to get in and out so quickly. Gotcha. But I feel like the second there's a BTS photo of us in that bathroom where it's like him and me and Sean, and we're all laughing. And it was very clear from the second he walked on set that this guy's a homie. This guy's got a great sense of humor. He's down to play with us. And I mean, we were laughing immediately. Yeah.
Just the idea that stem cells in the future make you tan ripped and with like kind of long 80s rocker hair.
Yeah. yes. But like on a professional level, working with these guys, it's amazing because they're pros. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's just like a level of professionalism that comes along with it that it puts everyone at ease. Like these guys are good at what they do, and they make everyone else feel like they're good at what they do. And it just every like the bar raises the second these guys walk on set. Like it was no longer a little short film. Like it was this was the real deal, and I don't know. I was just impressed with how quickly they were able to perform and just nail it. Like that. Sometimes you're used to having to really finesse a performance out of people, but I think the guys were well cast. I think they knew what they were doing, and they came in and they killed it.
Nice. And like, was there any cool, funny behind the scenes stories that happen on set?
No, I don't think anyone had any fun. Just
no fun. No fun was had.
Open-ended question.
It was so long ago too that I'm enjoying going down memory lane, but I'm also scratching my head.
Same here. I liked we didn't use these, but like some of the outtakes that McCole was doing as Sergeant Badge Taker. Started like just killing everybody. Like it was a spin hook kick fork in her head. And also McCall is a very talented actor, and really kind of like when she was there, I was like, oh, better act the crap out of this scene because acting coach, she's gonna tell Hank that I slacked.
She's the real deal, yeah.
But like there's a couple takes where William's like, maybe improvise a few things, and then she went from like quick death to like, you mother, just kick a fork in my head, I'm fixing the whoop you, like different levels, all this, like so many different options. And then eventually we're like, well, you could do like 10 different scenes with those outtakes, and everyone was loving it. But I think that's part of the fun, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, no, that scene specifically with her death, and then with all of your fork catchphrases, because "forks to be you" was not in the script. That it was just "fork you." Yeah, it was "fork you," and then we had time. Yeah, "fork off." We just had him do a bunch, and we were just like yelling at the crew. Was just like thinking of things and yelling out things. And I will say that I'm pretty sure I came up with "forks to be you." It makes absolutely no sense, but I'm really proud of it, and it's the one line that.
Well, you went with it because like
I'm glad we went with it.
You and like the "forks to be you" is just like,
it's so stupid. Yeah, it makes sense, and then you think about it and you go, no, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Just when he's about to hit a home run, it like almost goes in, but kind of goes out a little bit.
Yeah, it's like we got the gist of it, and he yeah, I don't know, it transcended what was on the page. If we had just done "fork you," I don't think that scene would have really tied together the way that it ended up.
Okay. You know, it's funny because there's in wrestling there were some wrestlers that actually used a fork for what
Abdullah
the Butcher, Terry Funk, and New Jack, and everybody like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Fork is the least of the weapons that New Jack used.
I know you're right about that. You're right. I used to do some wrestling on the local scene, and I had to wrestle Jack a couple times, and it's no joke. Stepping in the ring with him.
I bet not.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not fun.
We're excited to work on something, a new thing now. Like now that, I mean, actually I didn't keep track, but Speed of Time did really well at festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bummer that it came out during the pandemic. I mean, I'm grateful that we were able to release this last year, because otherwise I wouldn't have had a movie come out last year. You know, like it was. But the bummer is we got into 40 something film festivals and thought that we were going to be flying around the world representing the movie and seeing it in a theater with a bunch of people, and obviously that didn't happen. But it's gotten some love online too. Like the Dust release was really great for us, and that helped out. But I think it's all about the next thing for us.
Okay.
You know? What do you think it should be, bro? What's the next thing?
I mean, we are nothing but ideas. I don't want to spoil anything, but we've got some very cool ideas kicking around, and we have interest from people in the Speed of Time as a bigger entity as well. So like that. Yeah, we're just kind of in a weird place right now for film and TV. Things are slowly starting to come back up, and you know, but we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and getting 100 people together on a film set is not the easiest thing to do at the moment, and it's dangerous. So, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know. I mean, John, for you, like, you must be really happy, like the fans are back. You know,
wrestling
in front of live.
In front of fans. So wrestling with no fans is very weird for like the whole Thunderdome era. And it's also very rewarding. The first couple shows, we've only done a couple, to come out and have the fans do a pretty good Johnny Drip Drip chant makes you realize how much you miss people, and what the point of entertainment in general is to entertain people. But wrestling, really, the crowd is a character, a part of it, and without that part, it doesn't feel like sports entertainment. It feels like I don't know, strange form of theater with people. We're doing it live still, but there's no people, so the pace is faster, and because the pace is faster, it changes everything. It's long story short, no offense, short wrestlers, good to have people back.
Exactly.
The names one, but I decided not to.
And like my like show, I run horror site and stuff, and I always ask my guests this when I have them on. Do you watch horror films? And if you do, what are some horror films you both like?
I hate horror films. They're my least favorite type of movie.
Okay.
My wife loves them though, and so I watch horror films all the time, like The Conjuring, Annabelle, all those things. And we wrote a horror film on our honeymoon that turned into like a horror comedy because we wrote it together. And everything I write, it just on silly, which is actually what I'm about to do right now, is go work on finishing the Iron Sheik Massacre.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Still,
That's a long time coming. Yeah, it's a long time coming.
but I mean, those that I named, like, there's a lot of directors like Steven Spielberg, for example, like that. In Jurassic Park, for example, he talks about the integration of horror into that movie, which is, I mean, I guess I'd classify it as like a blockbuster thriller, blockbuster adventure movie.
Mm-hmm.
But integrating horror, like the pacing and suspense and like the tone, is a really important tool for the filmmaker's toolkit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right. And it's about kind of absorbing all the other genres and having as full a toolkit as you can when you're going out and making a movie. So I that's a really good way to put it. I like all those movies that you just. Do you not like horror movies because they're scary? Is it?
I like them, but they give me nightmares.
Okay.
Like, who wants to you watch The Conjuring right before you go to sleep?
That's so funny. You and your wife are the opposite of me and my wife, because I'll watch them and have no problem, but she has no interest whatsoever in watching horror movies. But
something like before we go to sleep, we can watch the horror movies during the day. I don't know why. It's like
funny. That's very funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Last month, John, your wife was on the show, and she was talking about her film that she's in on the chain.
She did really well on that, and she I didn't know, she's in a couple of scenes, and I was really impressed with I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I thought she hit a home run with the acting in those scenes that she was in, and it was cool. It was like a very different character than what she usually plays. It wasn't like a bubbly, over the top, like kind of like psychotic badass. It was more of like an introverted, like prison guard, like, look at me and I'm gonna kill you type energy. And it was fun for me to see, because I think she's a very good actor. And with that and like a couple of other things, like if she gets the right opportunity, I think she'll be able to be almost as successful as me.
There you go. Yeah, because
she can achieve whatever she wants. Like, there's no like ceiling to really what anyone's capable of, but I think she's in a very good spot.
Yeah, because when she was on the show, she was talking about how much she loves horror, and you know, when she said her and her friends used to always go to the video stores, and they would rent like all the horror movies and stuff.
Yep. Critters, like all those old school ones. Critters isn't that bad because it's so silly. But she'll like if we're watching Critters, she'll like take like a selfie of us on the screen and send it to her like friends from Canada, and then like put stuff back like, oh my god, remember when we were 14? We were like, yeah, she loves those horror movies. I get it more now. Like now that we did that one and filmed it, like it's really interesting when you think about it in terms of filmmaking, just the type of like techniques in horror for building suspense and jump scares, and not that you want to rely on that, but it's just good to know, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And where can fans find your film at?
The Speed of Time?
Yes.
Probably the best place is the Dust YouTube channel. So I would YouTube The Speed of Time, and probably the first thing that'll come up is Dust, The Speed of Time. And check it out. I think one of the things that I've done outside of wrestling that I'm the most proud of, and it's the first thing that I send it to anyone in the entertainment biz, to show the type of project that I feel like is my sweet spot.
Okay. And the both of you like do you have anything else coming out that you're gonna be in that you want to plug?
The Iron Sheik Massacre, I'm pushing really hard to get out, and hopefully in time for festivals or at least some screenings this Halloween. It's
Sweet.
getting close. Thing's a beast, and I think
It's fun though. I've gotten to see an early cut of it, so I
Oh,
can
really?
I can say for sure it's very fun, and I think that fans of John and wrestling fans in general are gonna eat it up. It's good.
send it
Nice.
send it to the close circle of friends for notes.
And
That's what you got to do. Yeah.
what about you, William? Like you got any other like films or shows that you want to push?
Sure. Yeah. I've been this year working a lot with a band called Making Movies. They're from Kansas City by way of Panama and Mexico, and they're just badass. Their music's incredible. I've known them for a while, and they're starting to blow up a little bit. And we've got some great, very cool music videos coming out later this year, and they have a new album coming out. So that's what I'm working on right now. Actually, in a couple of days, I'll be on set shooting a new video with them. So look them up on Spotify. Their music's incredible, and yeah, look out for some new music video content.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And where can fans find you both at? Like, what's your socials and stuff?
Ooh, social stuff. Just followed you on Instagram, by the way. Instagram at John Hennigan, Twitter at The Real Morrison, Facebook John Morrison, but I don't post that much. So if you want to see what I'm doing, Twitter or Instagram for me.
Yeah, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter, same, just at WJ Stroblight. And I don't really tweet a lot, but I'm on Instagram pretty frequently, which is how you found us for this.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
there you go.
And John, I was telling your wife this too. Like when your horror short comes out, like I would love to have you and her on to plug it or push it.
Oh yeah, we'll talk cheap drip any day. I'm pumped, but when that time comes, we'll reach out or hit us up, and we'll talk your ear off about it.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, I want to thank you both again for coming on. I didn't want to try to stay on long because I know you both have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
This was
definitely.
fun.
Yeah,
Take care.
it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right, next time.
All right. Thanks,
out.
buddy. Thank you.
Of course.
I really appreciate you setting up the whole thing.
No, oh my God, the chance to hang out and chat about the speed of time, it always makes me happy. So
Nice, man. Thanks again. Like this was really awesome. Like even I mean talking to you and me being a huge wrestling fan to actually sit there and talk to John Morrison, you know.
no, I'm glad, man. He, like I said, he's the nicest guy ever. If he didn't look like he looks, you would never know that he was the superstar that he is. But yeah, I'm glad we can make this happen, and look forward to more stuff like this with you in the future when we have stuff coming out.
Definitely. Like anytime you want to come back on to plug anything, just tell me. Like
Right on.
This was a lot of fun. I loved it.
I'm glad. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Definitely, buddy.
Take it easy. Yeah.
All right, buddy. You too.
All right.
Bye.